Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Miss Sally.
I'm Miss Kelsey. I can hear you very well.
Oh, goodness.
It's okay. We had a few, if you're watching, we had just a couple technical difficulties that actually was just, you got to unmute. Sometimes you just need to unmute, right?
Exactly. We
It's
got to
all
figure
right.
it out.
Hey, but we're here. We are here.
We are. So, what do you have for us today, Sally?
Well, I'm super excited to be back. And today we have egg sighting STEM. And
Ooh.
so, since we had Easter last week, I thought on Sunday, I thought it would be kind of fun if we went with like an Easter theme, maybe using up some of those leftover plastic eggs. Or I'm going to tell you, if you have hard boiled eggs or even raw eggs, and if your parent thinks it's, like if they get all into this and they want to let you use the real egg, go for it. But today, we're going to use these. So I'll just go ahead and get started with this. Are we
Uh,
ready?
well, I
All
will turn
right.
it over to you.
All righty. I'm so excited to be back. And so today, like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to do this exciting STEM program. And if you got to pick up your kit from the library, you have a bag full of really cool supplies. And if you didn't get to pick it up, they might have a few extra you could always call and double check. So what our challenge today is, you are going to be designing, just using these supplies, a system to keep your egg from breaking when it drops. And it's just a fun thing to test different scientific principles out, like the gravity and the rate of falling, and using a couple of Newton's theories of like the gravity is like a good one. The other thing is when chickens lay eggs in a giant hen house, and then they have to roll down a device to be able to catch the eggs without them breaking. They do a lot of research on how they can best protect those eggs so they don't get broken in the process of collecting the eggs and when the chicken lays the eggs. So we are just going to have some fun with these like plastic eggs today. So inside your kit, if you guys look at this, you have all kind of neat stuff. One is, let's see if I can bend this down a little bit. You might be able to see some supplies. You might not be able to see me, but you'll be able to see some supplies. So you have a bowl, just a bowl. You're gonna have a bunch of Easter grass. And if you wanted to do this at home and you didn't get a kit, you can just use supplies that you have at house. Just grab a bowl. If you don't have leftover Easter grass, you can just go out in the yard and you can just pick some grass from your yard. So we have some Easter grass. What else do I have in here today? Well, that's the instruction sheet that was inside of there. You have some pipe cleaners, a bunch of pipe cleaners, and you have some jumbo size popsicle sticks. And what else do we got? Some rubber bands. We got some these are just plain old rubber bands. Okay. And we have some soybeans. And I'll tell you what these are going to be for in just a minute. You're probably like, what? We have soybeans and we have chicken eggs. Then you have a couple of these just plastic eggs. And let's see, two more things. You got some bubble wrap, and you have some pieces of yarn, just some random pieces of yarn. So the first thing which would be really cool if you're doing this experiment is you want to get ready. So what I mean by get ready is you're going to take that egg, just these plastic eggs, and you are going to open it up and you're going to put some of these soybeans inside this egg. And the reason we're going to do that is this way it's going to be more fun. So like if you drop the egg and it breaks, these soybeans are going to roll all over the place. So it's just kind of fun. And then you'll be able to tell if your egg survives your device that you're going to build. So you're going to put some of those in here. And I already got some in this pink one. You can hear it. So there's some soybeans in there, and I just put a few, like, I don't know, a couple tablespoons or however many you want. You can just put them in there. When you shake it, you can hear it. So one of the cool things is the first thing you could do is like, you're going to snap that really tight, and then you can drop your egg. And this is my desk. It's a hard surface, and we're going to see if that's going to break. That did not break, but I'm telling you, when I held up my hand, this is a giant yardstick here. I'm thinking I only dropped that from about 12 inches, right? So what if you dropped it from way, here's the top of my yardstick, but if it's sticking way up here, that's 36 inches. I know you can't really see the top of it because it's so high up, but if I went way, way to the top of it and I let it drop all the way down, like 36 inches, do you think this might break open? Probably more likely that would break. So, but your challenge today is building a device that'll keep this egg from breaking open. Now, the first thing after you get your beans in here is you're going to take that plastic bowl and you're going to put some of that shredded grass in there because you're trying to make like a little nest for your egg to lay in. Now, that's going to make it a lot softer to land in. When I dropped it just on here, it was loud and noisy. If you drop it on here, it's a little quieter. But do you think if you dropped it from real high up and all that gravity would pull that egg down, do you think it might break? Potentially it could still break. So, and then when it breaks, all the little beans are going to come out, right? Well, what you are going to do today is using those supplies, like the popsicle stick and the rubber bands and all these pipe cleaners, and that yarn, you're going to think like, how can I use those items to build something so that it can protect that egg when it falls? And you can use your imagination, but what would be really fun, let's see, I'm holding up the wrong one. Here we go. On the back of your paper, there's a space and you can draw out a sketch. This is the way when people are designing or building stuff, they want to think it through first. So they're going to sketch it out. They're going to come up with a design of like, how can I make a device that might work? You can see I kind of have that labeled. Like I have my popsicle sticks. I'm going to use as like legs. I need it to be 3-dimensional, and I'll show you that in just a minute. I'm going to use the yarn and the rubber bands to hold my egg in place in the very center. And then I'm also going to use the pipe cleaners and the rubber bands to help hold these corners together. So that's kind of going to be my plan. And you can see a picture on the front, but guess what? I have been working on this thing. So inside of this, I have my egg. What do you guys think of that? Is that a crazy looking design? So inside of this, I have my egg. So I took my popsicle sticks and I put them together like this, but I want you guys to think of your own design. You don't need to copy my design. You are more than welcome to use any of it that you want, but you can think of how you want. Maybe you think it would be cool to build a triangle like this. That would be another neat idea. You could twist these pieces together and set the egg. If this egg was ready, you could set that egg in the middle of it. And if you use your popsicle sticks and your rubber bands and your pipe cleaners, you could hold the corners together. Do you think that that would protect the egg? Well, it kind of might if it fell straight down, but what if it turned upside down? Then the egg is going to hit your hard surface first. So you got to think that through, like, how can I best protect it? One of the ways that I did it was I just took all these different pieces and I built like a 3-dimensional. Can you see where I like put popsicle sticks like and made a triangle? I made a triangle, and then I made a triangle on the other side, and then put some popsicle sticks in between, and then I put my egg in here, and then I twisted all kind of rubber bands. You could add more rubber bands to it if you think like, man, that thing is not going to stay. You put another rubber band on there to help hold that on really tight. The other thing you could do is tie some yarn on there to help hold the edges together. you could use the pipe cleaners to help hold the corners together, what I did right there. And then I just started playing with this because I just thought it would be funny. That's why I was waiting on everybody to check in. I took some pipe cleaners and I just twisted them around my finger and they look like springs. You could put springs on the bottom and see if that helps when it falls, when it hits the surface, if it like helps it bounce. I thought it would be funny just to put a pipe cleaner up here because I just wanted to use my pipe cleaner for a design. And I thought this thing ended up kind of looking like a funny little critter. That's what I thought. There's its front, like if it had little tiny eyeballs. But what you guys could do is you could figure out how you want to use your items that are in your bag. And then if we drop this, is that going to protect that egg? Do you think that'll protect that egg that's inside of here? All right, let's try it. I'm going to drop it from about the 12 inches. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. I'm hoping it does, but we never know. And I got my soybeans in there. So let's just drop this thing. This is probably about that 12 inches again. Do you know what? I can do it again, and then you can actually see. Because you know what happened? Is it actually kind of bounced when it hit this table. Let me scoot this stuff, and when it hit, it actually bounced and it protected the egg really well. And I think part of the reason it might have worked was because the rubber bands give it a little bit of cushion and it helps it. What do you think would happen if I held this up like 36 inches and dropped it from way up here? Let's see. I am not standing up. And so if I reach all the way up here, and I know you guys can't see it, but it's 36 inches. And then if I drop it, it's still held together. It did not break that time. But what I want you guys to do is to see if you could build a device that can protect your egg from breaking. So when you drop it, let's use this one. When you drop it from a really high place, like your height, to see if you can keep this from breaking. So you got to question yourself. If it did break, hey, that's okay. That's part of the design process. You can just go back through and you could add more items to it, right? Like you might think, now I used a lot of my stuff, but maybe you only put like a couple things on it. If it broke, you could add more pipe cleaners or more rubber bands, which would be kind of fun. So you could try it with less items and then see if that works. And if it breaks, doesn't matter. Scoop up those beans, put them back in here, and you can try it again. If it worked and it protected your egg, like mine happened to work, that's cool too, because you know what? I could keep trying it higher and higher, and I wonder how high I could drop it before it decides it's going to break. And that's going to be the fun part. So you can just keep doing it higher and higher and higher and see if it eventually breaks. So the other neat thing you could do would be like take some of these items, or don't use any of this stuff. Just go around your house and maybe you can find stuff that's in your house and like make your own protective device. Maybe you want to use coffee filters, or what if you had some cotton balls and you added some cotton balls in here? Would that help protect it? There's also that bubble wrap. If you want to pop all these bubbles, oh, that's always so fun just to pop these. But you could use this bubble wrap to wrap an egg in, and maybe take one of your pipe cleaners and twist it all around. And do you think that that would protect the egg if you dropped it high? So you got all these different ways you can try to keep dropping. That actually doesn't even make any noise when I drop it because it lands so smoothly. But you could keep trying these, all these different designs, and make up your own design of how you think that you can protect that egg. How high do you think you could do this? Do you think you could go like 3 feet, 5 feet? Do you think if you had, like maybe you had access to a ladder, and that would have to be with your parents' help, but maybe you could stand on a ladder and you could drop it and see. The other thing would be like, what if this was a real egg? Maybe you might want to use a hard-boiled egg. But if your mom and dad, they would let you, you could put a raw egg in here, and maybe you'd want to go outside, or if you did this inside, you want to put newspaper down. But what if this was a raw egg and you dropped it? Would it hold together as well as a plastic egg, or would it break quicker? So as you guys like experiment with this, you can get all kinds of creative. You can get your creative mind to go on. You can have so much fun. And you can have contests of, like, if different people build it, like who can drop theirs the highest and see if they break or not. Well, I hope you guys like this activity. You can drop this into the nest if you want, or you could use the egg without the without all the stuff in it, and you could drop it and see how high it goes. So you guys have all this really cool. There's all my messiness. Look at my desk. You have all this really cool stuff that you can use, and I hope you have fun with this activity. I think it could be a lot of fun. So hopefully you learned a little bit about gravity and how that works today. And you know what? This is just maybe like putting the A in STEM. So now it's STEAM. So it's science, technology, engineering, art. This looks like a piece of art, and mathematics. And I guess that's it. So I hope you guys had a good time.
That looks pretty awesome, Sally.
This is a fun one. And these are things like you can use anything that you have around the house. You can just keep adding to it. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think what other stuff could, maybe you have some feathers laying around your house, or you could put grass around it or anything. So you can use any devices that you want, but use your creativity and think through how you can make this design work.
I think that's a really good idea. I'm thinking fuzzy socks might be good too.
Oh, I never even thought about that. Wouldn't that be great? That would be fun. That would be
fuzzy socks.
Yeah, and that could really be soft and protected.
Yeah.
I think the other cool thing, you know what, I like your idea about socks, because guess what? If you had this inside socks and this breaks, your soybeans are going to end up inside your socks, and then maybe you won't make so big of a mess. That's a good idea too. So that's our fun idea. Next week we will have another science activity for you, and we're looking forward to hopefully you guys tuning in again.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see what we have next week.
Yay, it'll be a surprise.
Surprises are always good.
Right.
All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed our program tonight. And if you happen to take pictures while you're doing your experiments, definitely leave them down in our comments so that we can see them, because we would love to see what you come up with.
We would love to see that. It would be neat to see all these different designs.
It would. So make sure you do that, because we'll be looking. So that's all for now. We'll see you back here next week, same day, same time.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.